Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today we are finally going through my pinks in my collection. If you've been following along with my Destash series, you know that I've been going basically in rainbow order and I have just been dreading getting through my pinks because it's my favorite color and this was so hard. And spoiler alert, I didn't even get through all of them in this video. So since this is already so long, make sure you have a snack, something to drink, get cozy, and I will catch up with you at the end. All right, so we are at my desk with my blanket on top to protect your ears from any super loud noises. And yeah, let's just get started with the time lapse. Okay, so here are all of my pinks in my collection. Obviously I am lying, but I do have all of, well, okay, let's zoom out a little bit, right? Here are all the pinks from my Helmers. It may seem like not a lot compared to, you know, the rest of my collection, I guess, but I do admittedly already have like a box, you know, like it's not super deep, but it's like still a pretty decent sized box filled with pinks that I had already taken out from my collection to destash in the future. So technically, you know, there would be more, but these are the ones that I decided that I'm going to be keeping for now, right up until doing this video. So as you can see, almost every square inch of my desk is like completely covered with polish. I probably could have fit some more up here instead of having some of them like dangerously close to the edge over there, but it'll be fine. So like usual, let's start by organizing by color groups first and then going through them, I guess, right? I don't know if I already mentioned it in the intro of the video, but I've been dreading this for so long because I know this is just gonna be so freaking hard to go through. Like I'm already overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I mean, I guess I'll keep a lot of the brighter pinks up in like this half at least, if not like corner, because I feel like that's where a lot of them are already. But it's gonna be annoying to sort through them because some of them are warmer toned, others are cooler, and it's just a lot. So you know what? Let me just shut the hell up and start organizing. Okay, you know what? No, we're gonna do things a little differently this time because I'm just overwhelmed with like having so much on my desk where I feel like I don't have a lot of room. So what I'm gonna do is move some of them back onto the floor, which is gonna be annoying. But I'll move like, you know, a lot of these like lighter shades out of the way so that way I can just like focus on these brighter ones first and then, you know, go back and forth that way. Okay, so I think I mainly got rid of a lot of the, like I said, lighter pinks, but also the generally cooler toned ones, although, you know, there are still a couple of them mixed in here. But yeah, this is definitely a much better way to start kind of organizing at least. So I'll put some of these reddish hot corally pinks up here. I'm not sure where this one would go. There's a few shades like this. Let me zoom back in. This is Cirque's Hearth Jelly, which I feel like, you know, is very warm. So I guess technically it could fit up there, but I don't know, it just seems so dark, I guess. Like it would fit in with these kinds of shades, you know, that are slightly more terracotta-y. So This one I guess does fit more up here, but I don't know if these would fit up there, but I literally have nowhere else to put them. So maybe I'll just put them like right underneath. So funny because I was like, where, this is like purple, but this is Crack's newest jelly, Simply Marvelous Darling, which on the nails I feel like almost reads like one of these colors, you know, but in the bottle it's just so much more purple. I'm just gonna keep it here for now because I feel like it fits into that kind of category. I mean, these are so, like, they're darker hot pinks, but I guess these are more cool toned, right? Because they obviously don't look like red toned like those, but I don't know, there's something about them that I wouldn't immediately classify as cool tone, but I guess they are. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Okay, wait, this one is just red, so I'm gonna put this back. Okay, so here are my little color groups. I have, yeah, everything is in frame, so this is what I'm starting with. Obviously, the more warmer toned pinks are up here. Maybe I guess including these, I would call these like kind of the berry pinks with a little bit bleeding in the bottom. These are generally more purpley pinks, I think I would call them. And then the other brighter spring summer pinks that are mainly cool toned, but I think there's like, I think these are warm toned. Maybe they're neutral. It's hard to tell sometimes, but yeah, it's ooh, I still don't even know. I guess technically I should start with these because this seems like the smallest group of pinks that I have, which again I would kind of call like terracotta shades maybe. Let me see if I can just get them a little bit more in frame here. Actually, yeah, it's literally just these handful. It's like what, 10 10 of them. I guess technically this should kind of be more in this category than up here. Either way, we're back to Cirque's Hearth Jelly. I really love this one. I think it's just a flattering shade, so I'm keeping it. The other Cirque that I have here is called Frosted Cherry. This one's kind of giving like a rose gold vibe. It's a very warm shade of pink. This was from the collaboration they did with Skittles a couple of years ago. And it's one of my favorite candies, so I have to keep it. Then these two sparkly ones, we have KB Shimmer's All That Glimmers, which is one of their reflectives. I feel like it's picking up a little more dusty on camera, but it is like a very muted rose gold type of shade. Obviously keeping that one. And then another favorite rose gold of mine is Different Dimensions Moonbeam. This is so pretty. It's a shame that it's not around anymore. I actually don't even know if this brand is around anymore. And the last of the specialty finishes here, we have Linby Designs Bittersweet Chocolate. Super gorgeous. I don't even know if this would be classified as pink because again, the base is like so, I guess, similar to the cracked Simply Marvelous shade. You know, it's a little bit more of this rosy milk chocolate kind of color. Also keeping that. And Island Peas Rosalie, which is one of my favorite shades from them. So we're gonna be keeping a lot if you couldn't tell. Like I mentioned, we're also keeping the cracked, so I might as well move that. But then from here, these creams, oh man, they're all so freaking pretty, man. I don't want to get rid of any of them. So We have Island Peas Rosewood from a few fall collections ago, Holo Taco's Low-Key Blushing, which I think came out the same year. These two are pretty similar, but Holo Taco is a bit more pink. Island Pea is maybe more like neutral, right? Like less of that rosy kind of color. I would say closer to the Holo Taco is Olivav's Terracotta, but this is even more pink. And lastly, we have Color Department's Nice Day, which I guess I would say is closest to terracotta in terms of color, but it is a little bit darker because, yeah, it stands out too much next to rosewood. Oh, man. Of these, I know I just skew towards the more pink shades, right? So I would say my top favorite is Olive Ave, followed by Low-Key Blushing, but I still really like these other two shades. Okay, I guess, you know, realistically, I would probably reach more for these two. So I will set these aside, even though I do really like them and they are just, you know, classic, beautiful, staple kind of shades. I don't need 4 of them, right? So keeping 2 is good enough. Okay, so then we'll bring the brighter, like red hot kind of pink shades down, which again, I know I'm just gonna be freaking keeping all of these. So the ones that I know I want to keep for sure are like the Cirque ones. These two here in the middle, we have Lolly Jelly and Bam. Actually, you know what? Maybe I love Bam. This is just a cream. Obviously, I'm keeping the jelly, right? But maybe Bam. It's kind of close to, you know what? It's kind of close to Essie's Sunday Fun Day, which I never took off the, the label for. But this has that shimmer in here, which I don't know, it just kind of always pissed me off a little bit, right? So maybe I would rather keep the Cirque and then get rid of the Essie. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. This last Essie here this last Cirque here, by the way, is Road Rage, which is one of their neons that is a little bit more of like a hot pink red kind of shade. I think mine is still pretty neon. I know like on camera it's gonna obviously pick up like way more intense, but this one doesn't seem to be faded just yet, so I am gonna hold on to it. Ooh, also definitely holding on to Olive F Strawberry. This is one of my favorite shades from them. I'm so happy it came back this summer. And the nail polys here, this one is called You're My Jam, which is like a little jam. What were they called, like thumbprint cookies? Or I don't know if this is technically a thumbprint because it's a heart, but such a cute freaking shade. I love it. Other shades I know that I love, the KB Shimmers here. This is Rose Were the Days, which is a PPU shade. Technically, I feel like this is more red than pink. Maybe it's like a very hot pink. Either way, I'm keeping it. Same goes for Picture This, which is a beautiful, like shifty kind of, you know, multi-chrome shimmer in this hot pink base. Here is Rock the Float, which is pretty similar. I actually don't know if they discontinued Rock the Float because I think they got rid of a lot of this collection. So I don't know if this one is still around, but I would say it's a bit brighter in the base with a slightly larger shimmer particle. I don't know how well you can see that, but I cannot choose between them, so I'm not going to. And the last couple of specialty finish ones that I have here are Holo Taco's Private Villa and the LA Colors Neon Jelly in Tropical Punch, which has the little iridescent glitters in there. Obviously very, you know, different finishes and stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna keep both of them. And then these last couple of ones, okay, this is Island Pea's Vaporwave, which looks insane. I mean, it's like a neon hot pink red kind of shade. I feel like it's kind of similar, but not really, to this really old Bluebird that I have back when they were called Glue It Yourself. This one is called Playing Both Sides. It has not a great formula, like, and I don't know how well you can see that, where it's not supposed to be a jelly, but like, you see that, right? So it's a kind of a crelly finish, and I can't let go of them. There's just something, the nostalgia, really, that's what it is, that's holding me in a chokehold. So I can't get rid of it, even though the formula is like abysmal. and I can't tell you the last time that I wore it. I would rather keep it. So yeah, it looks like it maybe faded a little bit compared to how, you know, neon the Island P is, but it's still really, really bright. The other neon that I have here is China Glaze's Tan Barine, which I feel like they discontinued this one super quickly. It was in that Scoops like ice cream themed summer collection a few years ago. I guess actually let me show this next to the other China Glaze that I have here. This is Guava Mama from, oh, what was it called? Like the Havana collection? I don't remember the name of the collection, but that's the one with the purple that's like Left My Heart in Havana. The green is like Head to Mojitos. I love that collection. Just such a beautiful like summer neon kind of lineup. But yeah, this is a much more cooler toned pink than this one, which is more of that reddish undertone, you know. And the last one that I have here is Butter London's Piccadilly Prawn, which I feel like just came out this past summer and they sent it to me, and it's so pretty. But I feel like, you know what, now that I see it, I think this is really close, yeah, to Olive Ab's Strawberry. And so I already know that, you know, I'm gonna keep this one. So I'll set aside the Butter London for like a giveaway because I never even used that one. Okay, let me do these really dark, like cool tone pinks, because I have, again, a few more like off to the side there, but they lean a little bit more purpley-ish, or I don't know, but I feel like these are, maybe I could fit in a few more. These are like the dark ones though. Okay, so again, from here, definitely want to keep the Cirque shades. The first one here is Pele, which I don't remember if they discontinued, but it's a beautiful hot pink with a gorgeous shimmer. This one is much darker than Say Chic, which is another favorite of mine. So here they are for comparison, also different shades of the shimmer. If anything, I imagine people would probably say this one is similar to Wildberry West, but I have that one in like my, yeah, it's kind of like in my purples where it's just such a dark shade. I guess technically I should have taken it out for this video, but I mean, either way, it's like I'm gonna be keeping this one. But yeah, it is very different than Pele. It's like more of that true like dark hot pink, I guess, but this one's like even darker. Then we have XOXO Jelly, which I don't know if you'll be able to tell the fill line from here, but it's like about halfway. It's like, yeah, just underneath the Cirque Colors like logo. So it's one of my most used jellies. And this one is Blushing Queens, which, you know what, I do really like this color, but let me just double check that I don't have like a dupe for it, or I'll like leave it out just to make sure I don't dupe myself. I think the closest one that I have here is this OPI called A Kick in the Bud, which is a bit lighter. Yeah, it's not as dark. Another darker OPI is this one, which is Madam President, but this one is a little bit cooler toned. I'm not sure how well you can tell that, but I think Blushing Queens is even more pink. And you know, I like Madam President, but I want to keep it though. It's like such an iconic shade. If I had to choose though, like I would go with Blushing Queens, just because I do like that it's like a little bit more of that red color. I mean, I'll keep both for now because they do live in completely separate drawers, so I have the room for it. But yeah, back to these. The last two up here, this is Cracks Thanks for the Memories, which was from the breast cancer awareness box, I think. I don't remember the name of like the actual box, but it's where all of these like indie brands get together for these, you know, breast cancer awareness type of polishes. This I could see people thinking is similar to Mooncat's Forces of Evil, but that one has a bit more of like a reddish base color. I don't know how many people call this a hot pink versus a red, because, you know, with it being a jelly, I feel like it can look a little hot pink on the nails, but yeah, hopefully you can tell that it's just a little bit more like a little bit more red. Similar flakies, not exact dupes. It's a shame though, because obviously this one was limited edition too. And these last couple of shades here, okay, these specialty finishes, We have Island Peas Gummy Bear, Hollow Tacos What a Catch, and LA Colors Ruby Rouge. From these, I would say that Gummy Bear is definitely my favorite, but I know it's also like kind of similar to Misbehaving, just more of a cooler toned, right? Like this is, and maybe even a little darker. So yeah, again, while Gummy Bear is very pretty, I think I am gonna set this one aside because my Island Pea drawers, these are definitely more limited. So if I'm, you know, putting them head to head, I would rather keep Misbehaving. For What a Catch, I actually think I'm gonna set this aside too because like even though I love it in conjunction, I guess, with like the rest of the collection, like, you know, using it in a Skittle or like a gradient with some of the other shades, I do like it that way. But on its own, it is a bit too muted for what I would like for a summer, you know, pink jelly flaky bomb. So I will also set this one aside. And lastly, for this LA Colors, I feel like the base color is like, I'll go back and check my video to double check, right? But I feel like the base is similar enough to, you know, either one of the other LA Color jellies or Cirque's XOXO, you know, and just like adding a little iridescent glitter topper, it's like easy enough to recreate. So I'll just set both of these aside. And lastly for these, well, technically I guess this is another specialty finish because it's a jelly. This is Island Peas Malibu, which is pretty similar to Cirque's XOXO, maybe a bit lighter, a bit cooler tone though. Like you can see Cirque almost leans like almost red, but on the nail I feel like they do look really similar. Oh man, but I want to keep both. Like obviously I'm keeping the Cirque, but part of me still wants to keep the Island Pea shade too. You know what, I probably shouldn't, but I will. Lastly for these creams, again we have the OPI's A Kick in the Bud, and this is Jessie Monroe's of Vivi. It's just, you know, another kind of cream. I think between these two, I do like the OPI more. I realize, yeah, I just skew more towards like the reddish pink kind of shades versus the cooler toned ones, but this is a really pretty one. I guess let me finish with these because I feel like these will be a little bit easier to go through as opposed to those, which I feel like I'm gonna want to keep all of them. Okay, so from this top row, we have two fauves. We have Frida and Viva la Vida, both of which I love. I will say that the fauve is probably, or the Viva la Vida is probably the most similar, as I shared in my comparisons, to some of these shades that are more berry with like, you know, the green shimmer. But this one is the brightest. Hopefully you can tell. So I do want to keep this fauve, but I really should choose between some of these. Honestly, I think, you know, I'm most inclined to keep the cracked because it's a magnetic, and I love how this one looks magnetized. It just looks so, like, I don't know if I would go as far as saying it looks like those, you know, gel kind of magnetics, but it is really, really smooth at the same time. And I also just love Lust for Vengeance. I think that one is probably most similar to the Apocalypse. This is 28 shades later. So yeah, I would rather just go with these two. I know I already, you know, shared the comparison in the video, but here it is next to Kathleen & Co.'s Release, which I would say is the most similar to this one, being that like berry, hot pink type of like magnetic, but the Kathleen & Co. leans like a bit more purple, I guess, or just brighter. So to me, they are different enough. These two nail polys also easy keeps. We have Time for Your Next Tuna Up and You Mean a Choco Lot to Me, which again, I feel like maybe this is more of a reddish kind of shade, but they're pink adjacent. These last two up here, we have Cracked Polish's Sweeter the Juice and Olivab's Magi, which or Magi? I'm forgetting how to pronounce it, but I know I want to keep this one. I love this color. It is so, so pretty. Like, I know I was saying I don't like a lot of the cooler tone pinks and go for, you know, usually more for the ready kind of ones. But this one being like this berry color, ooh, I love this. But the cracked, this one being the jelly, I remember not loving the application for this. I kind of want to try it again though, because like I love it as a jelly color. I think the only other one kind of close to it would be Cirque's Bitten Jelly, which I didn't pull out here because I feel like this is a little bit more purple than pink. Because the cracked is a little lighter, it like applies more pink, but you know, in the bottle it also does look purple. So yeah, I kind of want to give this another shot, but it's on the chopping block. From these Island Pea shades, let me see, this first one is Sugar Plum, which I know I love. Same with Be Mine. Both of these are magnetics and they are very pretty. This one's obviously more purpley pink, and this is raspberry pink. This one, oh, this beauty is Daydreamer. I need to use this. I need to use this like immediately, because this is unfortunately one of those finishes like Juliet or Bulletproof Symphony, where it's like those foily metallics similar to the frosted metals from Holo Taco that they will tarnish. They will go bad eventually. My bottle of Juliet did last like several years before it like really turned, you know, an ugly like dark brown. I only just bought this last Black Friday and it still looks, you know, good as new, but I really want to use it before it goes bad. And the last pink that I have here, which, you know, I don't know if it's pink, but this is Bloodline, which I got off a recommendation a couple of years ago at this point, and it's just been a new like classic for a fall pink, because it is very, you know, dark and purpley berry, but with a bright like pink shimmer. It is stunning. Then these well, okay, let me go with the other ones that I know I'm keeping. The KB Shimmers, this one is There's a Nap for That, which is like a hot pink reflective. And this one is Skiing is Believing, which again, I feel like kind of looks purple in the bottle, but it is more of like a multi-chrome in like a dark hot pink berry base color. It's definitely a lot darker than these other kind of multi-chromes, like, you know, Picture This or Rock the Float. I think this actually has the same exact shimmer as Picture This. The same goes for, what is it called? Hidden Potential, the even like darker, more true purple one. So, you know, they use the same shimmer in just like different bases, and I unfortunately am a sucker for all of them. Then the last couple of ones here, these two painted polishes, we have I Love You Very Much and You Drive Me Glazy. So this one, I mean, both of them are hollow kind of like glitters, but I know this one also has some reflective glitters. It's also more varied in the hollow, while this is a much smaller like micro glitter type of formula. Basically they're both different and I want to keep both, but I think, hold on, I do have another, yeah, this painted polish, which is similar to this one. This one is called Brie Mine, but again, this one is a little bit cooler toned, so you already know between these two I'm going to keep the warmer one. Then here we have Cirque's Lost Berry, which is supposed to be a trithermal. I don't know if it still transitions. Like, it looks, you know, to be already fading a little bit. I don't remember what the coldest state of the color is, but I feel like it was darker than this, you know, that you see in the bottle. I am running warm, but it's not really changing right now, so this might already this might already be a dead thermal. Not the worst thing, because it is a pretty shade. Like, I love how this looks, but it also looks kind of similar to Bury Me in Hollow by Holo Taco, just like a little bit lighter. Yeah, with this not transitioning, I think I will set this aside and keep the Holo Taco. And this last one here is China Glaze's Ruby Riches, which I think is very pretty. It's just, you know, a sparkly, like hot pink sort of shade. Here it is next to Island Pea's Petals. For comparison, maybe a slightly darker one is Love Spell by Holo Taco, which, you know, this is a magnetic, but just seeing them in the bottle, they kind of have a similar color. And I know I want to keep Love Spell, so you know what? I think I will finally pass on the China glaze because I don't really reach for it that much, but I always want to keep it because it's like a beautiful pink, red, ruby color. You know what I mean? Like, especially when I'm doing, you know, my birthstone series or something, like this is a great option for a non-traditional ruby red, but I could obviously just include another hot pink. Like I don't have to keep this one just because it's called Ruby Riches, right? So yeah, we'll set that aside. Like I mentioned, I'll be keeping Island Pea Petals and Hollow Taco's Love Spell. The last couple of shades here, this Island Pea is so much brighter. I don't know why I actually have it here. I feel like maybe it would have been better over here, but this is Playdate, the Splashed collection. Oh my god, I love that collection so much. So another easy keep. Then we have Hollow Taco's Birthday Brat and Hotwire Pink, which Hotwire Pink I feel like is probably the closest to... Okay, I can't find my bottle of Mooncat's Venus Flytrap, but that would be the closest to this Hollow Taco shade. Like maybe this is a little bit brighter or like more pink, while the Mooncat is slightly more purple, kind of similar to these other Mooncat shades. Actually, you know, it's not even that far off from this one, Ego Stroker 9000, which I'm gonna set this aside. So yeah, I guess because I can't find the Venus Flytrap, I have no choice but to keep this one as a hot pink linear hollow option. But yeah, going back to these other Hollow Taco shades, we have Birthday Brat, and then this one is Bless Your Heart, which was the pink micro glitter from the Disco Cowboy collection. I love both of them. I'm sorry, I'm keeping both. I guess for the glitter, the comparison here is Mooncat's Gravity Hold Me Back from the Toxic Stardust collection. Great collection of glitters, some of my favorites, but this one is, you know, a bit darker, a bit more cooler toned, right? A little bit more purpley. So you already know, between these, we're gonna keep this one. And the last Mooncat I have here is Space Oddity, which, you know, I don't wear often, but like I really like this one. Especially because it's like inspired by the little like feathers from a hummingbird like on their neck. It's like a specific breed or species or whatever. So freaking pretty, and just I love that. So I want to try to wear this one more because it is a stunning, like if they had this in a different, you know, smoother formula, like a true metallic or something, I would be more inclined to wear it, but it is still really stunning. So starting from the top, the Cirque shades, we have Say Chic, which I already said is one of my favorites, Pinkies Up, which was my favorite from this Twisted Tea Party collection, and Trinket, which is another pink sort of like reflective glitter type of polish, but a lot more muted in color, I guess, than... Okay, well, I can't find it, but it's just more like, this one is a bit cooler toned than KB Shimmer's There's a Nap for That. This is Hollow Taco's Pop Rocker from the, what was it called? The Rock Candy collection. It's a cute pink. It's not my favorite when it comes to, you know, pinks with a blue shimmer, right? I think, you know, it's definitely more muted than something like Mooncat's Merkitten, and the shimmer itself is also just not nearly as glowy. Yeah, I think I will set this one aside, even though, you know, like I liked it. It's not that it was my least favorite from the collection because I already destashed that one. That was Jam Session. But yeah, when it comes to pinks with a blue shimmer, this is one of the weaker ones. Then here we have Sincerely Polish's Mulan, which is such an oldie for my collection. Absolutely keeping it. It's just like a little treasure. This is LA Colors Sheer Jelly and Illusion, which, you know what? I don't think I compared it to Cracked Simply Marvelous, but no, they don't compare at all, really. But I am curious to see them on the nail because, again, when I wear Simply Marvelous, I feel like on the nail, you know, because it's sheer and like the warmth of my nail plate is coming through, it sort of picks up a little bit brighter and not as like muted brown, I guess. But it also depends on the lighting too. But I do love this like shade of kind of purpley pink, you know? Okay, finishing the pinks with blue shimmer, these two here, again, Mooncat's Merkitten and Prism Parade's Neon Arcade, which very stunning, but it's like I already have the Mooncat one. It is a little bit lighter too. This one has a slightly darker, more like vibrant kind of base, but they pretty much have the same color, blue shimmer. I think the Prism also has hollow, but maybe it's just like a lot smaller and like, or less sparse than the Mooncat one. So I know I want to keep the Mooncat one, so I will set aside the Prism. The last couple of specialty finish shades here, we have Hollow Taco's Rage Bait, which is another thermal. This one goes from, you know, like this hot corally pink to I think like a peachy color when warm. And yep, look at that. So the Cirque is definitely definitely dead. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping this Hollow Taco one because it was one of my favorites from this collection. And this one is another super oldie from the brand Loaded Lacquer, which is not around anymore. This is one of their jiggles, which was, you know, what they called their line of jelly polishes. And this one is one of the mystery shades. It just has like the question marks as the name label, but it's just such a pretty, like, you know, pink dragon fruit kind of color. A little bit on the cool tone side, but I don't know, I think it's just really pretty. So I still want to keep this one. I mean, this was like on my, it was like one of my lemming kind of polishes for like years, and then I came across it in a destash and I snagged it up so fast. So I can't get rid of it. Lastly, for these creams, okay, so I definitely don't need to keep all four. So I know the top favorite from here is the Olive Ave. This is Slater, which by the way, I feel like is the perfect match for like the Barbie pink color, at least like the Pantone. So, you know, bonus points for that, but this is a stunning shade. This one is several shades lighter than Maggie. So it's like, oh, this is a summer hot pink, while this is a fall hot pink, if that makes sense. I guess I would say that maybe that one is closest to this London Town Teeny Keeny, which I do really like this one. I just like love this collection, but I did already kind of destash a couple of them because they were already similar to, you know, shades that I already had. But this was definitely one of my top favorites. And I don't wanna get rid of it, but it is really close. Like, it's just maybe more muted, but you know, honestly, sometimes with Olive Ave, I feel like their shades either like dry down darker, or they just like, you know, look a little different once you compare them on the nail versus seeing them in the bottle. So this is only one coat each, and the Olive Ave is a little bit more sheer, but you can tell it's just, yeah, like a couple of shades lighter in color. I think Teeny Keeny is probably the in-between of Slater and Maggie. And you know I want to keep the Olive Ave shades, so. And lastly for these two, we have Nailtopia's That's Hot and OPI's Hi Barbie. So I immediately, you know, first of all, want to keep both, but I am more inclined to keep the Barbie pink, though Nailtopia is incredible. Like, I love their formulas, you know, their coverage is really so stunning. Don't love the brushes though, unless, well, actually, I don't remember if they upgraded their brushes. And not saying that, you know, obviously OPI brushes are any better, but I don't know, you know, it's Barbie, so I just kind of want to keep that one. Okay, and finally getting into these these much brighter, you know what, let me start up here because I think there's like less of these super bright ones. So okay, from here, I know I definitely want to keep like from these, you know, top few shades, the Cirque Neon. This is Shopaholic, which is one of their Vice neon pinks. I would say it was my favorite after Valley of the Dolls, which, you know, I had to destash mine because it faded so bad. So I really want to wear this a few more times before it goes bad. And this one is Phoenix's Chibi Chibi. Oh my God, it is just so freaking pretty. These couple of, you know, pinks with the blue shimmer. We have Cirque's Flamingo, which you already know is like one of those that gets me feral, so we're keeping it. In a similar vein, Polish for Days Barbie on the Boardwalk from PPU last year. Yeah, I came back for Rewind last year. It was like from the year before or something. Kind of similar, right? But like a little bit darker, not exact dupes. I don't even have to explain myself. I'm keeping both. And this one is Mooncat's Sakura Serenade, which is the thermal from the Remedy collection earlier this year. You know, I know thermals, and especially Mooncat thermals, being like so expensive, it's crazy. But like, this is probably one that like I would buy on sale, obviously, because it's pink. It's a pink to pink thermal with a blue shimmer. This has my name all over it. These two shimmery ones, we have Apocalypse's Hot Cordyceps Summer and Lucky 13. This is not what it's called. It says I glow in the dark, but that's not what it's called. It's called I Suck. That is so weird that it has that on the bottom. But yeah, these are obviously different finishes, kind of similar color though. I do love the Apocalypse. Like, I love the shimmer in that one. It's also like a little bit more green than the previous shimmers I just, you know, kept that were more blue. So I do want to keep this one too. And for the Lucky 13, I think this is a really cute shade too. But I don't remember, like, I think I did do a full mani of this. I probably just never posted it because I have a bad habit of doing that. But yeah, I don't care for the brush in this one. I don't know if it'll be able to, like, I should be able to replace it, right? But it's just kind of like your typical, like this reminds me of an old Essie kind of brush, you know? So I didn't love that, but the polish was really cute. I'm gonna keep both of those. These two Mooncats here, we have the Powerpuff Girls Blossoms Fire Breath and Momo Yuyake, or Yuyake, I don't remember how to pronounce it. I really like both of these, so I'm gonna keep both of them. Oh, like I mentioned, the China Glazes before, Will That Be Cup or Cone, and then Kid in a Candy Store. Actually, how does this rather compare to Shopaholic? It's actually pretty close. So you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna keep Cirque and set aside Kid in a Candy Store. But I do want to keep the other one. And lastly, this Morgan Taylor. This came out, I think, this past spring. This one is called Hugs and Blisses. I haven't worn this yet. And you know, I know some people are like, that is an abysmal, like horrible put that back in the 90s or something type of polish, but there's something about it that I think is so pretty. So I want to give it a chance. Just love the shade of pink. It's just so cute. It's just giving, you know, cotton candy whimsical vibes. We're also keeping these two cracked shades, Sandals Required and Cheeky Bottoms. Oh, like I mentioned before, we're keeping Misbehaving, along with what other Island Peas are here. Well, these two, you know what, let's actually look at these two. We have Two Piece and Sorbet. Actually, wait, no, these aren't the two that I want to look at. Between these two, I do want to keep both, but oh, here it is. This is Day Trip from the summer collection. Between the creams, I would rather go with Two Piece, which is more of like a true neon. Day Trip is pretty, right? But it's actually honestly kind of close to this China Glaze. This one is Guava Mama. So yeah, you know, again, my Island Pea drawer, they gotta start fighting, right? They gotta earn their place. I know these two are also similar, but this is like a neon jelly, while again, this is a cream. So I would say that they're different enough. Day Trip, unfortunately, lost the fight. And actually, how does Guava Mama compare to this one? This is another like neon pink. This one's from Trust Fund Beauty called Top Floor Energy. I actually think that one's a little more similar. Actually, maybe it's even brighter than Two Piece, where it's like a lighter shade of pink. I don't know if you can see what I mean by that, but this is obnoxious. But you know what? I might pass that along. This one is Static's Pink Is My Kink next to Two Piece. I feel like these are also kind of similar, honestly. I love Pink is My Kink. This one has a little bit of like a crelly jelly formula. So you know what, actually, should I compare it to Sorbet? Maybe that one is like a closer, okay, it's like not fair to compare these swatches because it's like literally one quick little swipe on the nail. And you can see how much more sheer Sorbet is. But yeah, I think this one is just too similar to the other Island Peas, so we'll set that aside. Speaking of like a hot pink, you know, jelly crelly, this is not Island Pea, Hollow Taco's Icon on Board Bon Voyage collection that left as quickly as it came. This one is like nice, but yeah, it is a bit more cool toned. You know what, I'll set this one aside too, because this one I think is in the same drawer as like some of my Island Pea summer shades, so it's gonna lose out, unfortunately. Let's see, what other Island Pea shades do I have here? We have Pastel Pink and Cupid. Okay, I know I'm keeping Cupid because I love this one. Oh, also keeping Misbehaving. Pixel Pink though, I'm sorry, but she's got to go. She does not stand out to me. To here we have Riley with like my super old label, and Sweet Tooth, which duh, we are gonna be keeping both of these. Oh duh, and then my last one here, Pink Slush, easily the top the top pick when it comes to a jelly pink. Let's see, these two Mooncats, we have Strangeberry and Koi Whiskers, which, ooh, you know what, this is the thermal version of the Hollow Taco, and it still transitions beautifully. Oh my god, it changed so fast. It's even like more pastel too, like a little bit more of a peachy yellow, while the Hollow Taco is like a tangerine kind of color. I'm pretty sure I still have room in my Mooncat drawer, especially for like these shades, so I will keep them. Let me see, other easy keeps I know are Olive Ave's Lisa, which, oh my god, this is a stunner. It is a neon hot pink with a blue shimmer. Absolutely gorgeous. Also really love Feeling Good from Kiwi Shimmer. This is like a new addition to my collection. Super, super beautiful. Also, no, I definitely want to keep this OPI. This is Exercise Your Brights from, I think it was called like the Power of Hue collection a few summers ago. That collection was so pretty in like theory, right? Like the rainbow lineup and everything, but the formulas were not that great. But I still really love this shade. So I want to keep this one. Also, no, I definitely want to keep Island Pea's Kiss and Tell, because this is like a warm toned pink linear hollow. I feel like a lot of others are, you know, just very cool toned, a little bit more purpley or like lilac leaning. Let me see from these last couple of ones here. Okay, I know I want to keep this tiny this tiny nail polish because it's just the cutest. This is called So Very Sweet of You. Color wise, it's probably the closest to the OPI like Barbie shade maybe. Yeah, look at that, it's like almost an exact dupe. Maybe it's a little bit darker, but it's mainly the cap that I'm keeping it for, I'm so sorry to say. And you know, I do like a lot of these other ones. I mean, another, I would say my next favorite here is Hollow Taco's Life in Plastic. It is, you know, another like neon Barbie pink with like a hollow glitter as opposed to a flaky, so slightly different, but I'm gonna keep it. I think if anything, you know, okay, this cracked, this is Back to the Fuchsia, which is, you know, one of their jellies, and it is really great, but it is also pretty similar, I think, you know, to XOXO jelly. Actually, no, that one is like so much darker and more red. Okay, I can't find Malibu in my keep pile, but here it is next to Gummy Bear, which is like nearly the exact same kind of color. So, you know, for versatility's sake, I would rather keep the true jelly. I'm pretty sure I did already share comparisons though in my video, so I will double check to make sure I'm not duping myself, but at least like with cracked, like my cracked drawer is also getting really full, so I could see that one potentially being on the chopping block, basically. The last couple of specialty finish shades that I have here, we have another of the LA Colors Neon Jelly. This one is called Glamingo. This one I think I can pass along. Like, even though it is a very like neon pink that's like freaking out on camera, in my mind, I'm gonna say it's close enough to Island Pea Sorbet. This is Girly Bits collaboration with Caitlin called Silk Chiffon Cake. This one I feel like looks a bit darker than what I originally was expecting, which I thought was so interesting because I remember when, you know, the first like video came out and everything, Caitlin giving the disclaimer, or I guess Girly Bits also giving the disclaimer that the pink, you know, probably will fade, which usually, right, means that it goes to a lighter color, but I feel like the one that I got was even darker. So I'm not sure what color it's supposed to be, but it is a pretty kind of pearlescent pink almost, at least a few shades darker than the Morgan Taylor. So I guess, you know, if it does fade eventually, then I won't have to keep both of these. But this does have like more of a greenish blue kind of shimmer. This is like your traditional white pearly kind of color, so they're different enough. Lastly, we have Apocalypse's You've Got Red on You, which is another kind of pinky thermal. I think I described this one as the warm toned version of Sakura's Serenade from Mooncat. So I do want to keep this one because it just gives me these really pretty like strawberry vibes. And the last couple of warm toned pinks that I have here are pretty much like all creams. I guess the only one that's not a true cream is again this Lou It Yourself shade that's a little bit more of a crelly, but I love this color. This one's called Neither Here Nor There. I think I would say it's like closest to, but not really, Zoya's K. This is like a more neutral color, right? This has a little bit more of that warm undertone. Here it is next to Static Nails Flamingo Rum Club, which I guess maybe these are more similar. I think the Static is like a little bit darker or like more muted. They're just so pretty. Like, I love these shades of pink so much. And they're just like slightly different, right? Like the most annoying thing about them, this one is Legally Pink from the collab with Legally Blonde, right? So oh my god, I'm like blanking out. So yeah, I think this is closer to Flamingo Rum Club, so I will get rid of that one. Legally Pink, let me see, where is it? Here it is next to the Barbie Pink. Definitely a bit lighter and warmer tone, so it is different there. Yeah, I would say maybe it's more of a neutral pink, maybe most similar to K, but just a few shades darker. I think, because okay, obviously I love these two Zoyas, right? I've had a lot of pink Zoyas in my collection, but I've taken out a lot, I've destashed a lot, but these two have remained, and I feel like Legally Pink is kind of an in-between. The other one, by the way, is Gigi, which is a bit warmer toned, but it's a bit brighter than London Town's Flushed Cheeks, which this was another one from that like Teeny Keeny collection that this is like my top favorite. You know what, let me decide what to do with the Cirque. This one is Retail Therapy, which I bought from Beyond Polish because I was like, oh my god, this is like one of those shades of pink, like one of those Vice pinks that I have been wanting to come back for so long. Of course, it had to come back the year that, you know, they take me off PR. So I bought it myself, right? And their Vice shades are always like perfect, you know, flawless coverage, formulas, whatever. But because, you know, it's a neon and they like pick up weird on camera almost all the time, it is a little bit different in color than I was expecting. So while it is stunning, I am just gonna put it in my destash pile because it's just not quite the shade that I would have wanted. Okay, so now we're back here. And I just don't know. I guess, you know, I will just take out the Static. Like, part of me wants to keep it because I like Static. I like the shade of pink. I like the reference. I usually already just pick between these two. So adding a shade that's just perfectly in between, I don't need to do that, right? I don't need to make it harder for myself. Okay, so I'm actually going to be making this a two-parter because I just yapped so much about all the pinks that I want to keep, and I still have like so many on the floor that I just don't have time to get through today. So let me just show you the ones that I am keeping from the, I guess just, yeah, the general warm tone shades. Okay, so this is basically all of the warmer pinks that I'm gonna be keeping in my collection, with a couple of more on the bottom here, but they are pretty much all in frame. And, you know, it feels like I didn't do a lot. My destash pile, you know, is pretty small, but I don't know, at the same time, compared to like, you know, the size here, it's maybe not that bad. But yeah, I don't think it's a surprise that I was going to be keeping the majority of what you see on camera, because pink is my favorite color. So I'm gonna be a sucker for the majority of them, you know? But I feel pretty good about what I took out, so let me just show you that. Okay, and here is my little destash pile. I took out 26 pinks, which I feel like, you know, is a good amount, especially since I only went through half of my collection so far. And again, while like they are pretty for the most part, I think there are definitely a lot that I have been wanting to get rid of and, you know, already remove, because like I mentioned, I already started my destash pile for my pinks a while ago. So I knew some of these were going to end up there, specifically shades like Pixel Pink, maybe even Holotago's Pop Rocker, where it's like, you know, I want to convince myself to keep it because it's cute. It's not the worst, but there's just so many others, right, in my collection that I don't want to dupe myself too much. So I do feel good about some of these shades too, like these two being taken out, you know, kind of sad in a way, because again, I still like them. They are pretty, but I already have others that are similar enough, right? So, you know, I think this is still really good progress. So that wraps up part 1 of destashing my pinks. As always, I can't wait to hear what you thought of this video. I'm sure nobody is surprised that I was going to be keeping the majority of the pinks in my collection, but I would love to hear if you were surprised by some of the ones that I did decide to part with. Honestly, even as I was going back and editing the video, I was like, maybe there are more that I could get rid of. So there might even be a couple of extra shades that I add to my destash pile, aside from the ones that I obviously shared in the video. And like I already mentioned, I have already started my destashing, or at least the pile has already been there, and I would just add pinks, you know, as I decide that I don't want them anymore. So it's gonna be a lot that I'm gonna be uploading whenever the next time is. I don't even have any plans of the next round because it's just a busy time of year. I mean, obviously October is my birthday month. My birthday's in a couple of days from when I upload this. Next month is Ryan's birthday. We also have a wedding in the family, and not to mention all the holiday craziness. So, you know, there's like a lot that I'm already scheduling for the rest of the year. So I just really don't know when I will have time to upload everything. I also wanted to have part 2 of my pink destash for next week, but at this rate, we will see. And either way, I do still have a couple of other colors to get through. I still have to go through the blacks, grays, whites, and browns in my collection, as well as my topper drawer. That's probably going to be the last one that I'll go through. So there's still a decent amount to look forward to. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry for it being so long, but thank you for joining me. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!